your love.
Might not find us on a map. Folks round here's okay with that. We don't mind keeping to ourselves. We got broke down backs and calloused hands from working this here promised land. We wouldn't trade with no one else. We're the outskirts, wear our names on work shirts. We cause traffic jams with John Deere tractors. We give a damn with things for backwards. When they call, we fight wars. There's mud on our floorboards. And harvest time's the only time that we miss church. We're the outskirts. We got Copenhagen bottom lips, talk price of grain, politics, work on F-150s when it rains. We act a fool on slip and slides. We love our kids but we'll tan their hides. Try to live like Jesus and John Wayne. Yeah, we're the outskirts. We wear our names on work shirts. We cause traffic jams with John Deere tractors. We give a damn with things are backwards. When they call, we fight wars. There's mud on our floorboards. And harvest time's the only time that we miss church. We're the outskirts. We're the outskirts. They bury us in this dirt. Yeah, we're the outskirts. We wear our names on work shirts. We cause traffic jams with John Deere tractors. We give a damn if things are backwards. When they call, we fight wars. There's mud on our floorboards. And harvest time's the only time that we miss church. We're the outskirts. Yeah, we're the outskirts. We're the outskirts.
know that I could use somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Lieutenant General J. Silveria, the Superintendent of the United States Air Force Academy, welcome to your Air Force Academy. Today, we celebrate the latest additions to the long blue line of Academy graduates as we launch the newest second lieutenants into service to our nation, the 61st graduating class of the Air Force Academy. Thanks for sharing in this landmark event in our graduates' lives. Please take your seats as we prepare for this momentous occasion. The Neil Armstrong class of 2019 will be marching onto the field soon. We appreciate your support in their development into leaders of character who will serve the greatest Air Force the world has ever known. Once again, thank you for joining us for today's ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask you to take your seats and direct your attention to the east side of the stadium as we welcome representatives of the faculty of the United States Air Force Academy. Leading the processional and carrying USAFA's academic mace is Brigadier General Andrew Armacost, Dean of the Faculty, followed by the permanent professors appointed by Congress, academic department heads, distinguished visiting professors, members of the faculty, and preparatory school staff. Just as the traditions of military pageantry honor the service of members of the armed forces, the academic procession honors academic achievement and reflects centuries of university history. Civilian faculty wear their traditional academic regalia prescribed by the degrees they hold. Each element identifies the highest degree earned, bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, as well as the degree-granting institution and field of study. Are valued for the Air Force experience they bring to the classroom. All military faculty have earned a master's degree and many hold doctorates. These officers are selected through a highly competitive process before returning to the academy as instructors or air officers commanding. In many cases, they teach in the same classrooms where they sat as students only a few years before. We are proud of our outstanding faculty who march in today to honor the class of 2019. Please join us in recognizing them.
Wing, tench, hut. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Secretary of the Air Force, the Honorable Heather Wilson, the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David Goldfein, and the Superintendent of the United States Air Force Academy, Lieutenant General Jay Silveria. Wing, present arms. Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Wing, order, arms. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the graduating class of 2019. Graduates, halt. Left, haste. Wing, present arms. Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation. Wing, order, arms. At ease. Ladies and gentlemen, Chaplain Colonel Paul D. Suter, United States Air Force Academy Command Chaplain.
Please join me in prayer according to your practice or tradition. Gracious God, what a fantastic day to fly, and an even more glorious day to graduate. You, O Lord, have created the land, sea, sky, and beyond. You formed all people in your image. We thank you for the rich diversity of the 61st graduating class of the United States Air Force Academy. Our cadets represent all the states and territories of America, as well as our allied nations from around the world. May their example of solidarity and perseverance through the challenges of their academy experience remind us all of the rich rewards gained from loving our neighbors near and far, and encourage us to afford dignity and respect to all. We are proud of our rich military heritage and the heroes and heroines who have led the way. The Neil Armstrong class of 2019 has lived up to their exemplar, as well as the gold standard of their class color, and the challenge of their motto, conquer mind, conquer all. We give thanks for all who have supported their accomplishments, family, friends, benefactors, academy staff, faculty, professors, supervisors, and peers. Bless and give them your love, mercy, and wisdom always. We are especially grateful to the members of the Legacy Class of 1969 and the many sponsors who inspired our cadets along the way. This day culminates a well-deserved return on extraordinary efforts expended. Individual goals have been exceeded, and the future of the long blue line blazes bright because these graduates have done and given their best. Bless the leaders of our land that we may be people at peace among ourselves and a blessing to other nations of the earth. Bless especially our keynote speaker and the President of these our United States, President Donald Trump, that his words would motivate us to renewed commitment to our country, as well as our neighbors around the globe. As our graduates pin on the rank of second lieutenant and go off into the wild blue yonder, we are mindful that hardship and sacrifice will remain their constant shadow. In the words of the cadet prayer, make them effective instruments of your peace in the defense of the skies that canopy free nations. And finally, O Lord, embolden our graduates and us always in the pursuit of freedom and justice, from which there can be no graduation. These and all things we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Graduates, take seats. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Wing, take seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Lieutenant General J. Silveria, the Superintendent of the United States Air Force Academy.
Wow, did Colorado come through with a wonderful day or what? Good morning, and what a great day for the Air Force Academy, a great day for the Air Force, and a great day for our nation. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. But for the family and friends and the graduates seated in front of me, it is especially great to say, welcome to the graduation for the class of 2019. To explain for our guests today, each graduating class at our academy selects an exemplar in order to honor and identify with a hero whose qualities they hope to emulate in their own careers. This year's graduating class chose Neil Armstrong, an American icon who perhaps needs no introduction, but whose incredible accomplishments were matched only by his admirable humility. Aside from being the first person to step on the moon, Neil Armstrong was a naval aviator, a Korean War veteran, a test pilot, and an aerospace engineer. His achievements are an example to our cadets of the limitless potential of human innovation and the strength of the American spirit, and we are proud to honor his legacy of courage and excellence. So today, whenever you hear class of 2019, the members will respond with just what you heard, strong. Today, we're honored to be joined by a remarkable list of distinguished guests seated behind me and throughout Falcon Stadium. That the 45th President of the United States, President Donald J. Trump, is joining us today. That he is here today as our commencement speaker is an incredible honor for our Academy and our graduates, and reflects the vision of our founders, that they had more than 6 decades and more than 50,000 graduates ago, that this institution would be an asset of national importance, an indispensable value to the strength of our military. Mr. President, thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the United States Air Force Academy. Today, we are also honored by the presence of our 24th Secretary of the Air Force, the Honorable Dr. Heather Wilson, USAFA class of 1982. Our 21st Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David L. Goldfein, USAFA class of 1983. And our 18th Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, Chief Master Sergeant Khalith O. Wright. Seated behind me today are members of Cadet Squadron 7, this year's outstanding cadet squadron. The distinction of Top Squadron is awarded each year to the squadron that achieved excellence and superior performance in all areas of study, including academics, military training, and athletics. Congratulations and well done, Shadow 7. But also seated behind me is a representation of our Academy's leadership, an outstanding team of individuals who have played vital roles in the leadership development of this class. Our Vice Superintendent, our Director of Staff, our Command Chief Master Sergeant, the Headquarters Staff, the Dean of Faculty, our Vice Commandant of Cadets, the Director of Athletics, the 10th Air Base Wing Commander, the USAFA Preparatory School Commander, the 306 Flying Training Group Commander, the Director of our Center for Character and Leadership Development. We also have our 4 academic division chairs, our 4 cadet wing AOCs. We could not do what we do without you. Thank you very much. And seated on the platform with us, representing the indispensable roles that our family members play in the lives of our cadets and airmen is my wife, Virginia, and our Academy senior leaders, their spouses. We will never be able to thank you enough for your steadfast support and for the unique sacrifices you make as military families. I'd also like to recognize an incredible faculty and staff who arrived in our processional that are seated on the south side of the stadium. These dedicated and tireless professionals make days like today possible with their passion for education and discovery, and with their skill in developing some of our nation's most promising young people into the next generation of innovative-minded leaders. We are truly privileged to have such a talented faculty and staff, ensuring that officers we are educating, training, and inspiring here now will go out into our Air Force and make it their own, shape it into a more capable and powerful force. Thank you all for what you do to make this happen. The United States Air Force Academy could not accomplish its mission without the unwavering dedication of many partners, and the support of the wonderful Colorado Springs and Front Range region is vital to that support. Seated on the north side of the stadium are some of our most outstanding supporters. Representatives from our supporting organizations, such as the Association of Graduates, the USAFA Endowment, the Falcon Foundation, the Air Force Academy Foundation, Friends of the Air Force Academy Library, the Air Force Academy Athletic Corporation, and the Academy Research and Development Institute. Let me also add a special welcome to one of our greatest supporters, Mayor Suthers. Thank you for being here. Also joining us are commanders from around our joint force, including Generals Hyten, General O'Shaughnessy, and General Raymond, along with our many other distinguished guests, Academy alumni, community leaders, and friends of the Academy. Thank you all for your contributions that help make today possible. Thank you. And to everyone here supporting these young leaders this morning, know that we are a much stronger force because of your indispensable role in our Air Force family. Everyone in attendance today represents the years of development, encouragement, coaching, teaching, correcting, supporting, and loving this class to get them here today. Thank you for coming. We're honored that you've joined us to recognize the culmination of one formative journey and the beginning of another. Today, 991 exceptional young leaders of the 61st graduating class of the United States Air Force Academy start their careers as officers. And I am confident that tomorrow, our Air Force will be a stronger force because of them. They are joining a long blue line, and they are joining a heritage of military service, and none other represents that more than Cadet Joseph Clark, soon to be Second Lieutenant Joseph Clark. He was commissioned yesterday by Major Walter Clark, his grandfather, who's 101 years old, a World War II veteran, and he is seated in Section L8 here this morning. Major Clark, we are honored by your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct pleasure to introduce the 21st Chief of Staff of the Air Force. General David L. Goldfein is a 1983 USAFA graduate, the 6th USAFA graduate to serve as Chief of Staff of the Air Force. An incredible, distinguished career has demonstrated the qualities of leadership we'd be proud for all of our newest graduates here to emulate. General Goldfein is a command pilot with more than 4,200 hours in aircraft, including the F-16 and the F-117. And he has led airmen and joint warriors in crucial missions all over the world. Sir, thank you for the example you've set in your career of selfless service and for inspiring these graduates to see what is possible in this proud profession, and for your enduring dedication to the alma mater. Our entire Academy is proud to welcome you back as always. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome not just the Chief of Staff, but one of the best friends of the Air Force Academy, Chief of Staff of the Air Force, General David L. Goldfein.
Been waiting a long time to do that. Well, you made it. I'm speaking, of course, to your parents. Well done, moms and dads. So, class of 2019, let me take you back 4 years ago to the 26th of June, 2015, the day after you arrived here in your first formation in front of the class wall. For the very first time as a class, you stood side by side and shoulder to shoulder in your crisp new uniforms and took a solemn oath. The same oath you took yesterday in your commissioning ceremonies to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Standing together as wingmen, you committed to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And today you stand here together for the last time as a formation, 4 years later, or maybe 5 or 6 for a few of you. Trust me, I can relate. And you join the over 50,000 graduates who have gone before you, the long blue line. Today you enter an Air Force engaged in active combat operations in faraway places like Afghanistan and Syria, as we deliver global vigilance and global reach and global power for America. And like your legacy class of 1969, several of whom are here today, many of you will face the ultimate test in combat. As together we defend this great experiment called democracy. And as officers, you will be entrusted with the greatest treasure in our nation's arsenal. Young airmen who volunteered to serve a nation at war and who deserve to be led and inspired by leaders of character. Sacred duty. And what you've been preparing for since the day you first raised your right hand in front of the class wall. As your chief, I could not be prouder to welcome each of you into our ranks. Ladies and gentlemen, the long blue line is strengthened today by the class of 2019. Over 40 years ago, Dr. Heather Wilson and I took our oath together, standing in the field house as members of the class of 1982. Like you, as classmates, standing side by side and shoulder to shoulder. After graduation, our careers took different paths, mine mostly operational. Dr. Wilson took a completely different path, graduating with honors as a Rhodes Scholar, attaining her PhD in International Relations at Oxford University. She served on the National Security Council for President George H.W. Bush during the fall of the Berlin Wall, collapse of the Warsaw Pact, and the start of Operation Desert Storm. She went on to become a congresswoman from New Mexico for 10.5 years and a powerful advocate for us on the Hill. She's a private pilot and an aircraft owner. And before becoming our secretary, she served as president of the South Dakota School of Mines. Neither of us could ever have imagined 40 years ago when we took our oaths as new cadets that we would rejoin all these years later to lead the institution we love, side by side and shoulder to shoulder. Mr. President, on behalf of all airmen, past, present, and future, thank you for nominating Dr. Heather Wilson to become the 24th Secretary of the Air Force and recommending another incredible and gifted leader, Ambassador Barbara Barrett, to become our 25th Secretary. Next to our Commander-in-Chief, today's airmen and their families have no better friend, and the nation has no stronger advocate for air and space power than Dr. Heather Wilson. And how appropriate that her last official act as our Secretary is here, where it all started over 4 decades ago at our beloved Academy. And yet again, she is graduating 1 year ahead of me. Graduates, parents, families and friends, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce to you the 24th Secretary of the Air Force, Dr. Heather Wilson.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for everything you have done for our Air Force. I could not have asked for a better woman. For the parents in the stands, these graduates are some of the best young men and women in America because you raised them to be that way. Thank you for entrusting them to our care. Know that we will give them the training and the equipment they need to be able to fight and win and come home again. To our graduates in the class of 2019, there is a nation outside of this stadium depending on you. Samuel Adams wrote in 1748 that neither the wisest constitution nor the wisest laws will secure our liberty. They must be defended by those who value freedom. You have decided to prepare yourselves to take a solemn obligation today. Thank you for choosing to be airmen. "41 years ago, Dave Goldfein and I got full-ride scholarships and one-way tickets from sea level to 7,258 feet, far, far above Annapolis and West Point. We each got off the bus with a single suitcase at the base of what was then the Bring Me Men ramp and began journeys that have brought us back to this place by different routes. General Goldfein grew up as a joint warfighter, as a leader, and I veered into public policy and Congress and higher education. In his poem, Little Gidding, T.S. Eliot wrote, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." It has been my honor to have been the first graduate of this institution to have become the Secretary of the United States Air Force. Mr. President, thank you for that honor. This graduation will be my last official event as your secretary, and it has been my honor to serve with all of you. It is also now my pleasure to introduce the 45th President of the United States. From the day he stepped into office, the President began reversing more than a decade of military decline. Over the past 3 years, his budget has proposed significant increases for our air and space forces, which we have used to restore the readiness of the force to win any fight, anytime, to recruit and train new people, and to buy modern equipment for the airmen who will be commissioned here today. His #1 priority has been the safety and security of the American people and the country that we love. We are privileged to have him here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander-in-Chief and the President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Pretty happy, sir. We're pretty fired up.
Very nice. Isn't that nice? Thank you very much, please. You just like all those brand new, beautiful airplanes that we're buying. Hello, Air Force Academy. It's been a long time since I've been here, and what a place it is. At ease, everybody. I'm thrilled to be here with all of you as we celebrate the incredible class of 2019. And you truly make America proud. You make us all proud. Thank you very much. Great job. Really great job. And I want to thank Secretary Wilson for the introduction and for her 2 years of service as the first graduate of the Academy to be the very important Secretary of the Air Force at a time when we've really expanded out the Air Force and bought equipment like you've never seen before. So congratulations. Thank you very much, Heather. Beautiful job. And I want to thank 3 other truly remarkable former cadets, your Superintendent, Lieutenant General Jay Silveria. Jay, Class of 1985, Jay. I thought you were a little bit younger than that. General David Goldfein, class of 1983. Thank you, General. Great job. Does a great job, respected by everybody. And NORTHCOM Commander General Terrence O'Shaughnessy, class of 1986. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, General. We're also grateful to be joined by Commander of U.S. Strategic Command, General John McCain. General, thank you very much. Spent a lot of time together talking about things. And Commander of Air Force Space Command, General J. Raymond. Thank you, General. Space Command. And to all of the distinguished faculty, coaches, and staff, thank you for forging and refining a new generation of American warriors. We're also joined by many distinguished Air Force veterans and Academy graduates. We applaud and salute you all. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. And to the thousands of moms and dads and grandparents and family members beaming with joy, and that's what they're doing. They are beaming with joy. Thank you for raising rock-ribbed American patriots. America is stronger thanks to your love and your support for these incredible people, these incredible graduates. Cadets, join me in paying tribute to your amazing Air Force families. Go ahead, pay tribute. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Without them, you wouldn't be here, and that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Most of all, to the nearly 1,000 cadets who I have agreed to shake every single hand. They gave me a choice. They said, sir, you don't have to shake any hands. Some people do that. Those are the smart ones. They're out of here. You can shake one hand to the one person, top of the class. You could shake 10, 50, or 100. And you could also stay for 1,000. And I'm staying for 1,000, okay? And I know we're all going to make it. There's no doubt about it, right? There's no doubt about it. To the nearly 1,000 cadets who will soon become second lieutenants in the U.S. Air Force, you could have chosen any school, any career you wanted, but you chose a harder path and a higher calling to protect and defend the United States of America. I know what you've been through, and it's tougher, but you know what? In the end, it's better. You're going to see. You'll see. You'll see. Today, you take your place as officers in the most powerful Air Force in the history of our country, and frankly, and very easily, in the history of the world. America commends the integrity, devotion, and commitment of the class of 2019. When you choose the Air Force, you choose the noble road of service and duty and devotion. You choose to break old boundaries and unlock new frontiers and live life on the cutting edge. The first air combat happened just 1 century ago. You are the ones who will invent and define the next generation of air warfare. And you are the ones who will secure American victory all the time, victory. To dominate the future, America must rule the skies. And that is what your time at this great academy has been all about, preparing you to do whatever it takes to learn, to adapt, and to win, win, win. You know, win so much, you're going to get so tired of winning, but not really. Not really. We never get tired of winning, do we? No. Over the past 4 years, that's just what you've done. You've worked, you've preserved, persevered, you've excelled, you've done so many things that nobody else can do, and in the end, you've come out on top. It took years of focus and discipline to get here, starting long before Beast, right? Beast. You all know what the hell Beast is, right? Just being admitted to the academy is a monumental achievement. Only 1 out of every 10 applicants makes the cut. And don't forget, out of those 10 applicants, there are hundreds that think about it, but they know they don't even have a chance. So remember that. It's true, actually. It's actually true. For those who are accepted, another 20% don't make it to graduation, sadly. Only the best survive to the very end. And here under the majestic peaks of the Rockies, you have risen to every challenge, overcome every single obstacle, and proven yourselves worthy of the bars that will soon adorn your uniform. You survived BCT, made it to recognition, and earned your prop and wings. You soared in gliders, piloted aircraft, and launched satellites that are now orbiting way, way above us, looking down on us. You performed advanced research, developed new techniques. You honed your skills as cyber operators and jumped out of planes thousands of feet above the earth. Not easy. For America's airmen, the sky is never, ever the limit. That being said, even the best cadets can sometimes get a little bit carried away. Lieutenant General Silveria has informed me that a few cadets are still on restriction for pranks and other fairly bad mischief. You know what I'm talking about, right? And you all know who you are. So keeping with tradition, and as your commander-in-chief, I hereby absolve and pardon all cadets serving restrictions and confinements. And that you earned. You earned it. So you're all on even footing. Is that nice? This class has racked up a list of truly extraordinary achievements. 2 graduating cadets recently received one of the most prestigious awards in all of academia, Rhodes Scholarships. Please join me in congratulating cadets James Brom and Madison Tung. Please stand up. Wow. Thank you very much. That's a big fat congratulations from me. That's a tremendous job you've done. Thank you. Thank you, Madison. Great job. On the athletic fields, Air Force has won 15 conference championships over the last 4 years, which is really something. 153 athletes have earned All-American honors. Stand up. Stand up. All-American, stand up. Wow. Wow. It's fantastic. Congratulations. Including rifle team members Anna Walbacher and Spencer Kapp, who helped the Falcons win the air rifle national title and beat the other service academies to bring home the President's Trophy. Please stand up. Stand up. It's fantastic. But you didn't enjoy beating those other academies. I don't think so, right? Not too much. And graduating cadet Nick Reedy became the first person from any service academy to win the college home run derby. Wow, that's a big deal. With a record-breaking 55 home runs. Nick, where are you, Nick? Stand up. Come here, Nick. Come here. Get up here, Nick. Come here. Really good. Come here, Nick. You know, they gave him such a lousy seat all the way back in the corner. Come on up. Baseball, home run derby. That's something. In all of college baseball. Wow. I want to feel this guy's muscles. It's real. That's real. That's great. Thank you very much, Dick. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. The members of this class come from every background, every state in the Union, and even from our allies overseas. But through trial and training and tradition, you've become one family. It's what's happened. And like one family, you have all been pulling for one of your classmates who has bravely fought his battle with cancer. Today, Parker Hammond graduates as a munitions and missiles maintenance officer along with the class that has stood with him every step of the way. Great go. Come on, Parker. Get up here, Parker. Parker, come here. Come here, right? Come here. They love you, Parker. Why do you like him so much? Great job. Great. A lot of good-looking people in this school, I have to say. Thank you, Parker. This class personifies the spirit of confidence and courage and unwavering commitment that has always defined the long blue line. It's true. It goes all the way back to the very beginning, to the first cadet in the Air Force history. In processing day, you've greeted at the base of a ramp by the statue of the legendary Val Bork. Val grew up in a blue-collar family in Massachusetts. During his senior year in high school, he was recruited to play for the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's another baseball player. But instead, Val made the same choice as all of you, the choice of life of service. That's what he wanted. Val joined the U.S. Air Force Academy. He showed up at 4:30 a.m. on the Academy's opening day in 1955, so he would be the first Air Force cadet in history to take the oath of allegiance. He was thinking fast. The Academy proved an arduous challenge, however, for Val. It wasn't easy. As Val's roommate said, he was hanging on by a thread academically. No one was tested more than Val was, but he was at the very top in his character and in honor. That's what his roommate said. After Val finally made it to where you're sitting today, he volunteered to go to Vietnam, and he proved to be one of the best pilots America had. He was amazing. He was incredible. After nearly a year of intense action, he was scheduled to return home. He was very excited, but he asked to lead one more mission. On that day, Val's plane was struck by enemy fire, and he made the ultimate sacrifice for his country. He now rests on these precious grounds, and his fighting spirit lives in each and every one of you. Great fighting spirit. The heroes and legends of every generation have always had to confront new perils and defeat new dangers. No one can foresee all of the challenges this class will face, but we do know that with absolute certainty, you are going to be ready to serve, you are going to be ready to lead, you are going to be aiming at the absolute highest point, and you are ready to fly, fight, and win. Always win. Always. You exemplify the grit, the guts, and the grace that make America's Air Force by far the best in the world. And in the words of your class motto, conquer mind, conquer all. Each of you has the sharp intellect, deep character, inner strength, and the titanium courage to vanquish any menace that dares to threaten our country or our people. We're always ready, right, General? Always ready. He's ready. I wonder how that's going to be viewed, that statement, tomorrow in the press. You can imagine. And that's okay. Let them think whatever they want to think. More than half of you will soon head to pilot training, where you'll prepare to unleash American thunder anywhere we need. Another 45 will join our remotely piloted aircraft program. A record number of you will become space operators. You will specialize in combat rescues, intelligence, missile maintenance, weather, air traffic control, engineering, and much, much more. Each of you is graduating at a truly incredible time for our country. Our country is doing well. Our country is respected again. We are respected again. And we're reawakening American pride, American confidence, and American greatness. You know that. These gentlemen know it, I'll tell you right now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's very nice. And we're restoring the fundamental principle that our first obligation and highest loyalty is to the American citizen. No longer will we sacrifice America's interests to any foreign power. We don't do that anymore. In all things and ways, we are putting America first, and it's about time. Our economy is booming. Our people are thriving. And our military is stronger, mightier, and more powerful with all of that new aircraft than ever before. I am committed to keeping our military the best trained, best equipped, and most technologically advanced fighting force anywhere under the sun. Last year, against some pretty strong opposition, which I'll always have, we secured $700 billion to support our warfighters, followed by another $716 billion, not million, billion, that's with a B. $716 billion this year. That means we are delivering 56 new Air Force F-35s, brand new stealth. I asked somebody on the other side, what do you think of that plane? A foreign leader. He said, we have a problem with it. We can't see it. It's always good. It's always good when they can't see you. 24 new Reaper remotely piloted aircraft, 15 new Pegasus aerial refueling aircraft, 10 new combat rescue helicopters, and a well-earned pay raise for every soldier, sailor, airman, Coast Guardsman, and Marine in the United States military. And if anybody wants to give up your raise, it's okay, we'll accept that, okay? Don't do it. We're also asking Congress to invest more in hypersonic weapons. We have things under development, the likes of which you've never seen, the likes of which you can't even conceive. Artificial intelligence, nuclear weapons and modernization, and space superiority. And we're soon having, as you know, something that I started, and it started a little slow, and now everybody's embraced it, Space Force, and you're going to be working with that. And General, I want to thank you for helping us so much. It's been really great. Working with you has been great. Whole new force. In this stadium today are many of the future leaders who will develop the doctrine, strategy, and technology to restore America's legacy of leadership in space. As you know, other nations are moving aggressively to weaponize space with new technologies that can disrupt vital communications and blind satellites that are critical to our battlefield operations. It is a time for America to reclaim the ultimate high ground and prepare our young warriors for today for victory on the battlefield tomorrow. It's a very different battlefield. It's a very different type of warfare, but we are so advanced, and when you see what's coming, you won't even believe it. And hopefully, you know what? Hopefully, we never have to use it. Peace through strength. Peace through strength. As your commander-in-chief, I want you to know that we will pursue and maintain the overwhelming strength we need to deter any aggressor and thrash any foe. For that reason, I am committed to building the Air Force we need with the full strength of 386 squadrons. And we're getting it done, too. It's happening rapidly. Because nothing will ever strike more fear in the hearts of our enemies or inspire more confidence in our friends than the roaring engines of American fighter jets flown by the greatest pilots on the planet Earth by far. You. The sound of American warpaints is the righteous sound of American justice. Today, you inherit a legacy of service and valor handed down through generations. It's a tradition built by legends like Rickenbacker, Doolittle, Wagner, Archer, Boyd, Yeager, Sargent, Grissom, and Chapman. Great people. Great people. These trailblazers broke barriers after barrier, and they innovated and adapted to push America further, faster, and on to total victory. It is the same spirit embodied by your class exemplar, Neil Armstrong, who started out flying jets over Korea, and 50 years ago this summer planted our great American flag on the face of the moon. Just like all of the aces of our past and the heroes of our history, they were ready to lead when America needed them most, and so is every cadet who graduates today. Is that correct? I think so. You are the patriots whose names will go down in Air Force history. You will redefine warfare at a very, very critical time in our country's history. You'll win great battles and bring our enemies to crushing defeat. You will explore the boundaries of space and keep America forever proud and forever free. So today you take the controls. You're going to push it up and chart your course across the sky. Keep the wings level and true, because your country is sending you on a vital mission to defend America, protect our people, and to pursue our nation's great and glorious destiny. Nothing will stop you from victory. Nothing will stop the U.S. Air Force, and with your help, nothing ever, ever will stop the United States of America. So I want to conclude by giving a very special congratulations to a very special group of amazing cadets, and people. It's the class of 2019. On behalf of our nation, God bless you, God bless the Air Force, and God bless America. This is a great honor being with you. Thank you, and congratulations to everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, man. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Cadet Class President for 2019, Cadet First Class, Jacob Sesuito, the Summer Cadet Wing Commando, Cadet First Class, Madison Froby, the Fall Cadet Wing Commander, Cadet First Class, Matthew Mowat, and the Spring Cadet Wing Commander, Cadet First Class, Erica Barnett, will present the class gift to the President.
President Donald Trump, for your dedicated service to our nation, to the United States Air Force, and to the United States Air Force Academy, it is with great pride that today's graduating class designates you, by acclamation, an honorary member of the United States Air Force Academy Class of 2019. As tangible evidence of that honor, we ask that you accept this painting by Rick Broom. On behalf of the United States Air Force Academy, we also present you with our class coin as a token of our appreciation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Palanchar, President of the Air Force Academy Foundation, will present the Distinguished American Award.
Mr. President, on behalf of the Air Force Academy Foundation and all the charitable organizations that support the Air Force Academy, I am pleased to present to you the Distinguished American Award. Thank you for being here today to recognize and honor the next generation of American heroes, their families, and friends.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,